What's good, man?
What's happening, brother?
What you got for me, G?
All right, man. So I went through a pretty rough breakup mm, about 3, 4 months ago now, and
Okay.
I think I just kind of came to the determination after talking to friends and family was, man, I got to upgrade the tier of women that I'm dating. I kind of got in this bad habit of allowing the women that approach me, which aren't always probably in my league, I would say, just to put it in the best way.
Hmm.
I've gotten a little lazy with that approach, just kind of taking what comes to me, and it's kind of led to a couple bad relationships along the way, man. It's just I think the problem is I need to start kind of putting myself out there a little more and trying to meet women I think that are of higher quality, better tier.
Okay, so where are you living?
Nashville,
How old are you?
28.
So
Yeah.
these girls that are approaching you that you're settling for, where they're approaching you at?
Mostly organic settings. So I mean, it could be one was in the grocery store, one was while I was at the gym, a couple down Broadway. You're gonna have that on the weekends.
Yeah.
So it's been a mix of places, but a good. I'm not gonna lie, there's been a good portion of them that are downtown, which is not the best pool to be
Yeah.
fishing. Yeah.
All
So
right. So you're relying on girls approaching you downtown.
yeah.
And then what ends up happening that you realize that these girls aren't good quality?
Uh, there's a lot of early signs. I mean, one, how easy they are to get off the bat, which is usually not a good sign for me. I obviously, things worth having are usually a little bit more of a fight, or there's usually some kind of dance between the two of you, right? Some kind of mystery she creates. A lot of these girls have just been too easy. They just kind of give
Okay.
it over, and
Let me
it,
let me let me stop you right there. I
yeah,
think this is a mistake that a lot of guys make.
yeah,
Every girl is easy. It's just the level of where she
uh,
thinks you are.
yeah,
Don't get that confused, guys. Some of
yeah,
you are some y'all you will sit up here and be dealing with a girl that is purposely making your life harder because she doesn't think your sexual market value is that high, or she's playing a game,
hmm,
and you now confusing that as her being high quality. No, 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 no.
mm,
Every girl is easy if she sees you as a 9 or 10. So that shouldn't be your only metric
yeah.
for judging if a girl is high quality. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure there's probably some aspects of me that I could improve on the outside aesthetically that would put me on the higher end of what I could be looking like, right?
Yeah.
I don't necessarily walk around. I don't have a high sense of fashion. All right. I kind of just I put on whatever I put on, and I kind of get away with that, being that I naturally have some better looking features that so I get away with wearing lesser than desirable clothes and stuff like that. But um, there's probably some improvements I could make there.
Okay. So, okay, let me ask you, how often are you getting with girls who you consider as eights and above? Got to think about
So
that
for
one.
every hang on, I want to come with an accurate answer. So I don't want to just bullshit you. So the let's just say for every 5 girls I would take on a date, it might be one or two. The rest are kind of just below that. They're in solid six, maybe a seven. Um,
And you
but
want to get it, you want to get it to more what, like 5 out of 5?
for me, I think I've got what it takes to be getting the nines at least.
Okay. So
Nines.
you say you got what it takes to get nines?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
In my
Okay. So in order for you to get that high quality girl, she has to see you as being a 9 or 10 or
yeah,
even more.
right.
So if you're just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna get whatever I can get mentality, I'm not gonna maximize who I am as a man,
Yeah.
maximize my looks, maximize my fashion, maximize my status, you're
Hmm.
not getting that 9.
Yeah.
Because the guys that you as much as you want her, the
Mhm.
guys who are 9s and 10s want her as well. Do you have any status?
In the real estate scene here, I do to an
Okay,
extent.
the social media.
Social media, I've got a pretty decent. I mean, I'm a little over 8,000. Um,
Okay.
so, and it mainly all through real estate, but
Okay.
nothing, nothing phenomenal. and I'm not. There's been a couple of them. They were A players. There's been a couple along the way. Yeah, but I think that some of the, they fell for what they seen, and then they kind of met. I think there was some flaws on the inside, and I'm the guy that you kind of that you talked about the other day about that had the issues with questions about what kind of work we can do on the inside. So I think there was some character flaws that they're encountering. Because every now and then I get with these A players here. There's only been a couple of them here that I've been on first dates with and talked with for a second, but it's not the outside that they had a problem with. It was there. I think there was a couple character flaws that.
What do you mean by that? What do you think it was?
So for one of them, I think it was the main thing was she was getting a sense that I was being that I would be overly controlling.
Okay. Why is that? What were you doing that gave that away?
I don't know if it was me being overly assertive or if it was when I had a problem with things, I was overly vocal about that or overly opinionated, but I tend to have a strong opinion about the way that I feel about things. And when she does something wrong, I mean, I have no problem letting her know I have a problem with that. I don't know. Maybe I was just overly assertive for her, but there's been a couple where it's repeated. I've got similar feedback. So I don't know, maybe it traced back to my childhood in some way, because I had a controlling father, and maybe that somehow kind of trickled its way down to me, but he was controlling with women. So, I don't want to be that way. I want to be different.
Right. Especially with hotter girls, right? Because most men are trying to do everything they can to get her.
Yeah.
Right. So you never want to be controlling or you never want to be toxic, but you still want to have some balls.
Yeah.
You still want to establish, that you have boundaries.
Right.
But that's what I'm talking about. If your sexual market value was maxed out, women will give you a lot more wiggle room to be more assertive.
Yeah. And I get on the external, like outside, there's a few things. I'd hit the gym, but like if me and you went shirtless right now, I'm sure you got me, right? You're probably your physique's phenomenal. You're lean. I've let my gut go a little bit. It's not. Yeah. I'm not rocking a beer gut or anything, but it's like, could I step up my physique a little bit more? Yes. Could I revamp my wardrobe? Absolutely. There's some tweaks that I could make. I think that would probably afford me, like you said, a little bit more privilege.
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know if I'm prioritizing that over the main concern is like, is there something on the inside that I need to address? Because or do I just focus primarily on those external factors?
You can do both. I don't know why you guys think that it's always an either or. Why can't you work on both? Why can't you work on your wardrobe, maximize your looks, be more fashionable, and work on having more self-control?
Yeah.
And work on not losing your mind whenever a girl does something wrong, having some emotional intelligence. Why can't you do both?
Yeah.
Why can't you be more self-aware? And really, and when the conversation is happening or an interaction is going south, you are conscious about what you're doing and saying and how you're handling it by still establishing your boundaries, but not coming across as like a crazy person.
Right.
Wow.
Personality wise, like the conversation I can have, I do fantastic with the intro. Like meeting women, there's no problem I have in getting them to like me off the bat. I think it's once I get used to them, and then they start to see the full spectrum of some of my flaws in my personality. I think those are the things that.
And does that happen usually more with the girls you think are hotter, or every girl?
Mainly with the girls that I think that are hotter. I mean, the ones that I would consider A players, the ones that I would commit to in a long-term relationship.
Right. So that's the problem. The women that you have a higher attraction level for, you tend to kind of want to force it to work out.
Maybe I am, and it's some. Maybe I am.
Yeah, I mean, with the girls who you don't really give a fuck about, you don't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
So they might want to stay longer, but the girls that you think are hot, you're like, act right, because I want you to act right. That's where you get the disconnect from the girl, like, oh, this motherfucker's crazy.
Yeah.
Instead of you having that nonchalant, take it or leave it vibe, regardless of how attractive you find the girl. So maybe what's really going on is you don't know how to keep women that you're really attracted to and get them to respect you at the same level that a girl who you don't find that attractive.
I think you're kind of hitting it right on the head there. It's because, like I said, I don't actively get out. I don't put myself out there very often. I've always been more. Let me just put it this: I'm more selfish, right? I've always been more self-focused. I've always put more time into myself and my career than in women. And while I'm young, I want to take advantage of that opportunity to do that for myself. But it's like, what time women have always been kind of something I fit into my schedule. Let me just put it that way.
Right. And you don't, and you don't have to make them a priority. Yeah. I think when you guys hear me say, hey, work on women, you think I'm saying, hey, bro, go spend 5 hours a day talking to girls. That's not what I mean. I'm saying have enough practice with them so these kind of things don't happen. I'm sure, Brandon, you would like to have maybe 1 or 2 girls who you think are nines in your life that you can keep without having to go through this vicious cycle again of not getting the kind of girls you want, maybe them running away. Like, it just takes a little bit of work.
Yeah, I will admit, I'm gonna bring one to your attention. Like, I got one that I'm hanging on to that is one of those A players where it's like we got past the initial dates, but she started to kind of see some of that, like my personality as well, and then started to get, question it. So I've distanced her a little bit, and she wants another date, but I'm kind of holding off to see if I need to do some personal work before I.
Have you slept with her yet?
Oh, this is crazy. So, she's been in my bed multiple times, and I just decided to exercise like the self-control. But she's been in my bed multiple times in her thong, thinking that I was going to make a move, and I didn't. That's what's caught her off guard, is because most men that get her in bed would have, and I've not. So that's what's kept her kind of on the hook.
Okay. Slow down. Yeah. Why if she's been in your bed several times, why haven't you fucked her? You just don't want to?
See, because when I met her, I kind of seen her as like a potential long-term fit, and I was wanting to take it a little more serious. I decided to slow it down a little bit.
Oh my Lord, guys, this is a cardinal sin, cardinal mistake. Do not make this mistake, guys. I literally had a call. I had a call today with a student of mine who was explaining to me the exact same thing. That is a horrible strategy. Here's why: a girl being that hot, right? You know what she's attracted to? Dominance. She's attracted to men that are not afraid of leading. No matter if you want something long term or not, women these days are fucking. Mm-hmm. And if she feels like you're not confident enough to at least stimulate her emotionally and physically, she won't have any respect for you. Yeah. So if you haven't already fucked her and she's already behaving to the point where you having to pull back, she's already started to lose respect for you.
So you're making you think that's the connection there?
Women love to get fucked. Right. You gotta sink into her, bro.
I wouldn't say that I've necessarily just been afraid to make a move. I'm very alpha.
You're playing it safe. You're playing it safe, Brandon, because you want it to work out. Yeah. And that's operating out of scarcity. Yeah. This girl is really bad. She's really hot. Let me take it slower, and hopefully she stays longer.
Look, I'm not gonna. If I took her on, she's waiting on me to take her on a date again. If I took her on a date, if I wanted to bring her back here, I would. The last time I asked her to hang out, she wanted me to come to her pool, right, and do a night swim. So it's like I know what she's expecting next. It's not that the opportunity's necessarily lost or off the table. It's just that I'm kind of like saying, okay, fine, whatever. If maybe I go have sex with her, but like at the same time, I still got to make sure that whatever is going on the inside, the character, right, is fixed. That way, once we get past, sex and all that, and we try to do something that's more committed long term, it's like is. But
you got to slow it down, bro. You got to get to some fucking first before you can. See,
here's the thing, Fit. Here's the difference between me and probably a lot of the other guys you talk to is like, I've got that out of my system, man. The amount of my college days, I've had all the sex that I need. I don't necessarily need. I've tried the options. I've tried it. I've tried everything I was curious about.
Right.
I've gotten to that point where it's not necessarily in my system to go find somebody else to fuck again.
Okay,
it's
I'm not saying it is. I'm saying women, their biological nature is to respect men that they think are better than them.
right.
When you're not fucking her, it's hard for her to. She doesn't. So why do you? Okay, let me ask you this. And I'm gonna end with this. Why has she been pulling back for you to pull back? What's been going on?
There's been a couple, like, just most of it's been in conversations we've had where we've had disagreements, and there's been
Okay.
arguments. There's been some arguments that have come from that, but it's stemming around the same subject, like ways that I am that are different from her. But
Yeah.
it's kind of pointing to similar issues. I think they're character flaws that other women have already pointed out, which was why I was like, maybe I need to get that addressed. I don't know.
So it seems like you're trying to force these interactions to work out.
Yeah.
And with women, no matter what your stances and perspectives are, you kind of have to let things play out, and she will over time fall into your frame. It's where I think what's going wrong is where these girls are feeling like you're controlling is they feel like you're trying to force them into your frame, and women hate that shit. You're trying to like make her.
No, I think that just clicked when you said that. I'm trying to force them into my frame.
Right. That's why she feels like, hold the fuck up, man. We ain't even fucking yet. This motherfucker sharing all his.
Bro, you got me there, because that was one of our dates. I did a couple moves that were more kind of like in the romantic category before we had even had sex, and she kind of pointed them out, like, bro, like we haven't even. So yeah.
Right. That's what I'm saying, bro. She's waiting for you to lead her fully before she can fully submit to you. You're trying to make her submit to you and then lead her.
Mm-hmm.
No, women have to be led to then submit.
Yeah.
All right, I got it.
No, that makes sense. All right,
you got it, bro. You can figure this out. You got it. Take my advice.
All right, cool.
G.